Hey, and welcome to a new video. Have you ever tried painting outside and found it more challenging than painting in your studio?
I recently had this experience on a trip where I've painted a scene in my sketchbook, but it didn't turn out how I hoped it will. Now I want to do the same scene from reference photos and see if I can do better. Me, my partner, and our daughter went on a little weekend getaway to a beautiful part of Croatia called majoliCATart. It's full of pretty woods, mountains, and streams. We spent our days hiking and enjoying ourselves. The last day there, I've decided I wanted to paint a stream that was nearby. I have to admit that I'm not experienced in painting outside. I would like to do it, but more often than not, I find it very challenging. The first obstacle that I encounter is always social anxiety. I just don't like talking to people. I dread small talk. It's very difficult for me to overcome this. The presence of others can be quite intimidating while I'm creating, especially if I feel vulnerable in my creative process. The fear of being watched or judged can affect an artist's confidence, hindering the ability to freely express their vision. For example, this scene that I'm painting is by a creek right next to the house where we were staying. The owners of the house were an elderly couple, and they were so nice and welcoming, but it was kind of hard keeping them away while I was painting. So I always had this time pressure in the back of my mind, and I wanted to finish it as soon as possible. The second obstacle that kind of goes hand in hand with the first one are distractions. My baby was running around me the whole time I was painting. She had many questions and it was challenging. Other times, if I'm somewhere alone with our dog, I have to keep an eye on him because he might wander off. So it's hard to keep focus and stay in the flow of creating. The position you're in might not be the most comfortable, especially if you're sitting on the ground or on a rock. Here I was sitting on a bench and I had an actual table, so it wasn't that bad. But the table was a bit lower than in my studio, so I had to hunch over more than I would like. Additionally, painting in an unknown space can be more challenging than in your own home or office or studio, because you already developed a routine of creating there. So it comes natural for you to paint there, but when you're somewhere new, you feel like a total beginner. And to me, this happens all the time in any new space, not just outdoors. Last one, and this is pretty obvious, accessibility to art materials may be limited when painting outside because you need to prepare and organize and carry wanted art supplies with you. And if you're unexperienced like me, you might bring too little, or I think it's worse to bring too much, because if you're hiking, then you have to carry all of that in your bag. And something I gave zero thoughts before, but was actually a big problem in this setting, is the humidity of air. It took ages for my watercolor layers to dry. All of these problems make me rush through the paintings, and sometimes I end up adding elements that aren't there just to be done and because I'm not actually looking, like the pine branches in this spread. On the other hand, painting with photo references indoors allows you to access all your art materials and work in a comfortable and familiar space. And you can take all the time you need to finish the piece. I like to revisit the painting another day and see what I like and don't like, and if I can do something about it. I find it helpful looking at it with fresh eyes. The challenges I had with painting from references in this instant is that I didn't take good pictures. The point of view is a bit different than where I was initially sitting, so I had to make some things up. And the final thing is I'm not really a landscape painter. So either one of these didn't turn exactly as I hoped. The outdoor one I actually like better, and I think it would do good in a children's book. The studio one has more details and I feel is more representing of the actual space, as I didn't feel the urge to rush through it and add stuff that aren't exactly there just to be done. The biggest problem is that I didn't have an exact look in mind. I just kind of went with it. Like, I know I would like to use different colors, but right now I got stuck on shapes and light, which is fine. Practice is the most important part of any craft, and I've already found some classes and reference photos that I think would help me with finding my own voice in landscape painting, so I'm looking forward to that. Thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more interesting insights on making art.